let's go to footings, or do we? No, that's got to go to structure. The footings will be under here. Now, where would you go to find footings here? Foundation, perhaps? Well, that's wrong. Okay. Yes, that's the natural way to do it, and that's where I went the first time I started using this thing, except these weren't behaving the way I was thinking, and they weren't doing the right thing for me. Industry, in fact, doesn't go there. Industry goes to beams, all right? So that's where we will go and get the footing, would you believe? All right, comes up with a universal beam, which is what some of you have done. It's not what we want. According to the instructions, we really want to get to a concrete thing. So let's go, sorry. Well, first of all, do we have a concrete thing here? No, it doesn't look like we have. So we have to load one up, I suppose. We'll have to go to the this metric family thing here, which is under libraries, metric, and it's under structural framing. There it is. It's not wood, it's concrete. There you go. And this is a beam or the family we want. All right. So if we open that up, all right. By default, it's 400 by 800. We don't want that, so we want to create a new one. So we go edit type, usual way of doing it, duplicate. We'll call this one 350 wide, in fact, 350 wide by 470 deep, to be exact. 470, that's a funny number. All right, 470 deep. All right. Okay, that. Now again, the values we have to change here. 350, 470, and that's about it. There's nothing else to change on there. And just go OK. Alright, so there it is. Now the other thing we've got to do is change this Y justification to be right. So here it should be right. Alright, and then we need to change the Z offset value to -30. Z offset value here, -30. Alright, that didn't work. -30. Okay, that worked. Now what are we doing here? Alright, so what we're saying here is when we start tracing this, don't forget when you're working on a drawing, just like AutoCAD, is working on a plane. And the plane we're on is a ground floor plane, right? The ground floor is at 0. We want to drop this footing 30 millimeters below that. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to have a 30 millimeter drop down around the edges, which is called a rebate. Now, we've done a bit of a rebate with the AutoCAD example, so we want to do the same rebate here. All right, 30 millimeter rebate, because that's just how you build brick veneer houses. All right, simple as that, really. That's the only reason. All right, so to create the rebate, this is the technique we're going to use. There's other techniques, but we're going to use this simple technique. All right. So then we've got to set up our thing to be on this thing here, which is basically pick lines. All right, so pick lines. The other one's pick walls. This one's pick lines. You just got to get used to what's there. There's no pick walls on here. This is the equivalent. All right, so I'm gonna. All right. So this one here, can I do the tab? No. Yes. And no. Yes and no. If I tab a few times, it comes up and gets all of that, but it puts it in the center, so I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is just pick line by line. So I'm going to pick this here. Oh, all right. That warning comes up, which is fine in a way for now. It's just telling me that it's drawing it below, and I can't see it, but it's not a bad warning. It's just saying it's below. You can't see what you're doing. All right, that's fine. I'll just keep going. I'll just keep ignoring it. So some things you can ignore. All right, so we're done. Just close this. So let's have a look what I've got in my 3D. Okay, I've got that. Oh. What have I got? Okay, so it looks like it's a bit funny, but it's supposed to look funny. Just take off the thick lines. TL is a command, TL, so you can see a bit better. So what we can see here is that 30mm drop down. All right, to better have a look, section 1. Let's have a bit of a look there. All right, so this is what we've done. We've got that rebate happening. I put the thick lines here. Oh, it's too thick, forget it. Thin lines, all right, and might want to change the visibility here, the detail to fine, so you can see the brick working. Makes more sense, all right? So that's all we got, and that's fine. That's what we wanted. Now, as I said, you have to keep checking. Now, once we've done that, I want to show you something else. What if, for example, you pick left and somehow I don't know if I can get this to work now, but if you ended up, let's see, if we change it to, don't do this if yours is alright, but yeah. So what if you for some reason you didn't pick left and you picked you didn't pick right, but you picked left. You'll end up in the ground floor plan. You'll end up with, and you can't see it, sorry, from here because we're not looking down. I can change my extents. Let me just change it to this one here. Yeah, this one's better. This is where you do it anyway. So what if your footing is like that? You know, what if you got something like this, or if you pick center, for example, it might be half inside. It's just to correct it in case you got it wrong. Okay, I'm just showing you on one only. What if you got something like that? How do we fix this afterwards? Well, you can click on here and do just what I've just done, which is basically go and pick. I suppose you can pick right now, and hopefully it'll make it right, eh? Not pun intended, which it did. But another way of doing it is this way, and get used to this command because it's a good little command to know. The align command, which I never use in AutoCAD, some people do, you can use here now. So you can basically click on, well, forgot to modify. You can go align. All right. It says, please select. I'm reading down here. Please in the status bar. Please select line or point reference for alignment. So I'd say it wants me to pick this wall here. Notice when I go on the wall, if I go over here, it picks up. You see the blue lines on the top and bottom. Picks up that wall. Go over here, picks up this wall here. So that's the wall I want. Alright. Then it says, please select an entity to align. It will move into alignment with the reference. So this will move. I'm hoping it will. So I select this one. So that should have moved back into the wall. Also see this little lock here. Alright. Sometimes even though we've got these right, it's sometimes worth going and doing the align anyway, and it's not in the notes, it's in a little extra, and then locking that footing to that wall, which means if the wall moves, the footing moves with it, which is handy if you're changing your plan around still, right? So I might go around and do that to all of them and lock it. Alright, so this is just some little added extra. So click on here, even though they're already aligned, I'm going to do it anyway. Just to get it right. So pick on the wall, then pick on the footing, and there you have it. Always, even though you think you've done it right, the right way, always double check your measurements, make sure that they're right, and that looks about right. Yeah, just in case, when you're doing a whole lot of them, sometimes you might have picked the wrong order and it went out to the footing instead of going into the wall, all right? So always check. Never trust yourself. I never trust myself, and rightly so. All right. So that's basically adding the footing, and I'll just leave it